Hello, fellow old schoolers. Echo Greg here with round 3 of the Guildhouse Swedish Summer event. Again, this is a weekly webcam-based Swiss-style pairings. Playing, of course, the same Green Lightning deck, a kind of green aggro deck, a little bit bigger than I usually do it with Urnums, Suchis, because it's Swedish, there's no mana burn. And the Berserks, and then the red splash for the main deck, lightning bolts, and some key sideboard cards. So, talked about this in the other videos, so won't spend too much time. Let's just get into it. So this game 3 was against Joe Singer. Unfortunately, I didn't catch that I had maximized his video while minimizing mine, so apologize for that, but we'll make do. So I start first, forced into Llanowar. Say again, one of the best plays you can have in Magic, I think. Certainly one of the most fun. So Joe will drop a City of Brass and a Mox Ruby, but no play, just passes the turn. So Joe is on a black-red aggro deck with trolls, so hippies, black knights, trolls, burn, that sort of thing. And with a light blue splash for the power, as you can see there. So again, Joe is that's a nice 4th edition Time Walk. Joe does have real power. They're in another deck, and again, this is a proxy-friendly league, so it doesn't matter anyway. So I've cracked in, got some damage, got him to 18. I played 2 Scrub Sprites, keeping that pressure up. He's taking some damage from the cities, and he's got a hippie. So hippie can be a problem in that takes out cards from my hand. It's never good. Really wanted to get a Pendelhaven here because Pendelhaven obviously turns my Scrub Sprites into 2/3, so I can leave one back, and he can never really attack into it unless he has some sort of a removal like a bolt or a terror or something. He will have terrors, I believe, in game 2. I don't think he has any in game 1, but we'll see. Again, taking some city. I did play a maze, and then he sinkholes it. He's going to attack in, and I'm going to throw both my sprites. He had red open, so there was potential of a little blowout there, but it was worth the risk to be able to take care of the hippie. Again, hippie can be a pretty problem card. So I've got an Urnum. That's pretty good, especially if he's not running terrors in the main. But he does have 3 factories, which is going to make getting in with that Urnum a little tricky. Joe thinking about what to do here with his mana. Going to 15. Again, that city's doing some real work for me. Got another hippie, which I have to give Forest Walk. So now it's an unblockable hippie. I do have a Strip Mine, which will help for all the blocks. So I come in with the Urnum. Smartly doesn't block. He's going to lose a lot of lands if he has to do anything. And then I drop a Suchi, and I keep a Taiga open. Maybe trying to insinuate that I have a bolt or something like that, just to make him think about attacks. So he's going to attack. I do have the bolt, but I'm going to bolt his face. Because, again, I think at this point we're close to the end game. That puts him down to 8. I've got 2 4/4s in play, and so taking out the 2/2 flyer, especially when I have no other cards in hand, I think the bolt to the face is the right play here, just to start forcing him to make blocks and then lose those factories. So Joe's going to pass to me with 2 cards in hand and 3 factories on the board. Again, I have a Suchi, an Urnum, and a Strip Mine. So I'm going to come in with both. Let's see what he does here. So he's got a Shatter for the Suchi. unfortunate. But again, this is Swedish, so no mana burn, so not as bad as it could be. And then he's going to activate a factory, pump itself to make it a 3/3, and make it a 5/5, in which case I will strip it. So, again, the point of my attack was to try and hopefully take out 2 of his things, but he did have the shatter. So, but then I do play a scavenger folk, so that's going to allow me to kind of do something similar next time. He cracks in with a hippie, no cards in hand, so I just dropped to 16. And then he's got a Black Knight. So that could be a problem. The Black Knight is first strike, so if he has a bolt, he can favorably just take out my Urnum, blocking, putting first strike damage on, and then bolting the Urnum. But I got to come in. He does block that. And he has a Psy Blast. So effectively the same thing. I lose the Urnum, which is bad. Things are looking a little grim, but luckily, as you do, I have another Urnum to play. So Joe does take 2 damage, dropping to 6 from his Psy Blast. And then I've got another big threat left. So Joe's going to keep cracking in. That puts me to 14. Again, no cards in hand to discard. And he's got a second Black Knight. If he gets a third one, my Urnum's in big trouble. But again, 2 Black Knights, unless he has damage against it, really doesn't do much. I do get a Pendelhaven, which now will allow me to come in with the Elf and the Urnum. If he wants to, if he activates a factory, he's going to lose it to the Scavenger Folk. So this does make his blocks here a little tricky. He's going to lose a land and one of his knights, or both of his knights, depending on how he blocks. So he does activate a factory. And okay, I think he double blocked the Lanoir and threw the factory in front of the Urnum. I didn't blow up the factory when he animated it, because then he can animate the other factory and triple block the Urnum, and I will lose the Urnum. So I will gladly trade a Lanoir Elf, especially when I have 4 mana on the board for one of his factories. It's Joe trying to figure out what he wants to do here. And he can attack, but he just holds everything back. Keeping the Forest Walk on the hippie, because, again, the hippie's already unblockable. I don't have any flyers down. And then I pass a turn, so I don't have any profitable attacks. I think at this stage I really don't want to lose the Urnum, especially not for just 2 of his weenies. The Urnum far outclasses them, so... but now I'm coming in, so that probably means I drew another Bolt or a Giant Growth. So I think Joe here is indicating he's going to triple block it with all 3 of his creatures. And I will trade the Urnum for the hippie and one of the knights. And then I have another Urnum. So that's why I attacked that. I didn't have a Giant Growth, but with the ability to play another Urnum, I'm okay with trading to clear up his board, make it harder for him to block. So he's still sitting at 6. This is kind of a little grindy lately. Nothing really is done damage-wise. But here we go. So now the knight gets Force Walk. Again, the only legal target. And here comes that. So now he activates a factory. I immediately blow it up with 4 blocks. He goes to 2, no blocks. And I pass to him. lovely 4th edition Ancestral. Hell of a card. So Joe's going to draw 3. Let's see if it gets him anything to get out of this. Again, the Urnum is still in danger of being blocked and bolted. Luckily, he can't do the same Psyblast trick because he is only at 2 life. So if he tries that, he will die, which would be perfectly fine with me. But and there's a troll, so that becomes a little bit of a problem because that troll is just going to block the Urnum for days. I am going to, I think, move the Force Walk to the troll because I want the troll to attack me so it can't block the Urnum. I do play another Scavenger Folk. Again, at this point, it's just damage. If I can get one creature through, I win because of the Pendelhaven. So I'm just trying to go a little bit wider than the 2 creatures he's got. Trying to flyer would also be really great right now. But he comes in with the troll, which was a little bit surprising to me. So I dropped to 11. And then he's got a Sinkhole for my Pendelhaven. I Pendelhaven the Scavenger Folk just to do it, but doesn't really do anything at this point. See, that really surprised me. And then, of course, you've always got the second Pendelhaven in hand. So I think he was just trying to get some damage in while he couldn't die. But I did have that. But he has a bolt in response. So he's trading his Black Knight for my Scavenger Folk, and then I will play the Script Sprites, which is what I really need. But he has a Mana Drain. So, good back and forth gameplay. Trying to put the game-winning threats down, but he's got the answers between bolts and counter spells. So, good clean magic. So I come with the Urnum. He's going to block and regenerate. But I've got a Berserk, and that'll do it for game 1. So Berserk, giving the Urnum trample, regenerate, only soaks up the toughness. So Urnum will have 8 power. The troll can only suck up 3 damage, even though it is regenerating and not dying. So that remaining 5 will go straight to Joe's face, and I win the game. So that was another good top deck. I have been using the Berserks, it seems, more defensively. There was that epic Berserk I had in the first game, in game 3, where I was able to Pendelhaven, Giant Growth, Berserk, a Fire Sprite for 16 damage, and kill my opponent out of seemingly nowhere. But a lot so far have been used defensively to take out things like Sarah Angels. But nice to see him used offensively. So we're going to sideboards. In this, I'm definitely going to bring in the Falling Stars for his Black Knights and Hippies, and potentially for his trolls if he makes the mistake of playing a troll without regeneration mana. I'm also going to bring in the Disintegrates for those trolls, and I'm going to bring in the Whirling Dervish. Again, he's got a lot of black creatures. He does have the burn, he does have the trolls, he does have the factories, so the Dervish are not foolproof against his deck. But with the fact that they can get a little bigger, it's potential that I can get a Dervish that is a 4/4 that can then hold off a troll or something like that. So it's definitely, I think, worth bringing in this matchup. So I made my sideboard changes, shuffling up. Joe is still working on his. Joe is finished sideboarding. He's now shuffling up. And we will shortly move on to game number 2. So I did win. That means Joe gets the choice of play or draw. I believe he will take the play. Aggro versus aggro mirrors. You almost always want to be on the play. Gives you the tempo to steal a chess term. Lets you really just try and dictate the play based on what you're doing versus what your opponent's doing. Alright, here we go. Alright, I do send mine back. I believe I had no land at all, which obviously not good. But Joe will keep his hand, so see if I can overcome being down a card and being on the draw. Again, really just see what happens. Alright, I'm good with this hand. I'll keep 6, bottom that card, and we are off on game 2. Joe's going to start with the Badlands and a Lotus, but no play with the Lotus. So, wish I had crumbles in the deck. It's always fun to be able to crumble a Lotus, but I do play a Scavenger Folk, so Joe will draw. He's got an Underground Sea and a Time Walk. He goes to his Time Walk turn. Factory for Joe, so now I probably won't blow up the Lotus. He's also got lots of mana anyway, so it doesn't really seem, and he's got all his colors in black, blue, and red. But he's changing his mind. He's picking up. And he's seeing that I have the Scavenger Folk. He is cracking Lotus for a Troll. So early Troll with regen backup is a problem. I can't really attack through it. I've got a Taiga. I'll play 2, and I'll play that Whirling Dervish. So again, here's where Whirling Dervish doesn't look so good. 1/1 Pro Black really doesn't face up well against a 3/3 Troll. But Joe's going to come in with that Troll. I'll drop to 17, choosing to be aggressive here, which, depending on what he plays, is then going to allow me to grow that Dervish a little bit. So he now plays the Factory. I play a Pendelhaven, and I'm going to attack with just a Dervish, again, keeping the Folk back, so if he activates the Factory, I can blow it up and guarantee that the Dervish gets in. So, Joe is electing not to block, and I just do 1 damage, and I play 2 Scrub Sprites. I'm not sure why I didn't pump. I think I have a giant growth in hand, and I wanted to be able to try and save something from a bolt. So Joe's going to crack in with the Troll again. I'll drop to 14, so life is ticking down, but I also now have 4 power on the board I can crack back, so I could start, getting in, and then the Dervish will grow each time, so I'm going to get some damage. He plays another Factory, which I only have the 1 Scavenger Folk, makes that a little difficult, but I do have a Strip Mine, so that's going to take care of the Factories. So I'll attack with the 3, the 2 Sprites. He's going to activate. I'm going to immediately blow it up. he's going to activate the other one, and then I'm going to strip it. So I lose a strip mine and a scavenger folk to blow up 2 of his lands. I get in for 4, and my dervish is going to grow to a 3/3, which all in all is a trade I'm pretty happy with. So he's got a Black Knight, and he still has regen mana. Now he is leaving the Troll Black because, again, the Dervish is getting a little big. So I'll just swing in with the Flyers for 2 damage and another Dervish. So do a good job of keeping that Knight at bay. But again, the Troll is in defensive mode now. So live totals are, I'm still at 14. Joe is now down to 12. So my Flyers are starting to take over. So Joe just passes to me. I got a forest. And I'm going to come in for 2. And this time I will Pendelhaven, so put him at 9. And I'm going to pass. So Joe's going to tap out. He's going to go to 8. And he's got a Falling Star of his own. So I think here I'm going to Giant Growth one of the sprites. Again, the Flyers, very valuable here. And we'll see how he wants to try and take out the rest of my board. So here he's just laying out his lands as my other 3 creatures that can be killed with it. I mean, he could still go for the Flyer too, but it really wouldn't do anything, having the 4 toughness and all. So there he is. Try to figure out how best he wants to lay them out for a flip. And there he goes. Now flipping the card. And oh, bad bounce. Bounces off the bad lands. All my guys survive. I've had some bad flip luck myself in this tournament so far, but I've also been on the other end of my opponents having some bad flip luck. So, yeah, just goes to show that flips are never guaranteed, which is part of the charm, I think, of old school. But he does not have regen mana now, so I'll play a Taiga. And so I don't take advantage of that and attack with the Dervish. I probably should have to either force the block or to get in an extra 3 damage, but I do play and earn them. So that's probably a slight misplay on my part. I should have attacked with the 3/3 Dervish as well, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention to his untapped mana at the time. So I think Joe's packing it up here. He's showing me when he's got another Black Knight. He's got a mana drain, but Shatter. Yeah. Yeah, good games to Joe. Again, they were pretty close. They were very competitive. A lot of good back and forth. And I think they were never really... I did win 2-0, but it wasn't like I just stopped him and ran him over. So, always fun to have games like that. So with that being said, sign off for now. See everybody next time. Thanks for watching.